Hello and welcome to the Unprofessional Opinion with the Pink Blanket. I'm going to talk about psych drugs that I've taken and that I've watched other people take and their various effects on people. Okay, first I'm going to talk about mood stabilizers. Tegretol is my favorite mood stabilizer. If somebody is really having problems and stuff, Tegretol usually works. It's cheap too, so you don't have to worry about that. Lithium will make them really sick, and I've seen that in hundreds of people, and I do it too. Whoever thought that lithium was a good idea needs to be hung. His legacy is over. Anyway, so next we have Geodon. Geodon causes the heart to do weird things, and it can also causes intense nightmares. So anyway, when you're on it, you will have these freaky nightmares, and it makes the illness even worse because it causes them to get stressed out and stuff. Yeah. Okay, the next thing we have is antidepressants. I'm going to talk about Prozac as being a bad idea because it causes homicidal tendencies or suicidal tendencies because you cannot be that high all the time. Your body will try to balance you out. Okay, trazodone is usually the answer because it helps them sleep and restore their cycles. So anyway, I would go with trazodone and not Prozac. I ignore a lot of those antidepressants because what they cause is for you to get out of balance and go psycho. Okay, if you've seen some of my videos while I was on Prozac, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, anxiety meds are good. Usually lorazepam is good at a low dose. Yeah, so anyway, that's pretty good. Drugs, there's now Trexone and lorazepam because they're going to have really bad feelings when they come off their drugs, and they're going to need something to combat that. Okay, so anyway, if they're hearing voices, Risperdal works or perfenazine. Those both are really good for hearing voices. But if I were a doctor, and I'm not, I'm just giving my unprofessional opinion on this after being on several, I would try an anxiety med before I tried anything else for voices. Now, if the person's just off the wall crazy and hurting themselves, then go to an antipsychotic. But try an anxiety med first, because if you know what their voices are causing them massive anxiety. Okay, if they have a flat affect and stuff, try Abilify because it increases their feelings of, it makes them feel better. I know that because I've had a flat affect before. I lost all my emotions and I couldn't feel anything. It was a really disturbing feeling. So if you think somebody's experiencing that, Abilify is usually the answer. It is not the answer, however, if they're hyperactive. Now, somebody with a flat affect is usually not hyperactive, so you don't have that problem. Okay, next, I'm going to talk about dementia. Dementia is something that everyone loves to give Abilify to. They're just giving their caregivers hell by doing that because they will not stop moving and they'll get aggressive every single time. They think that it preserves the tissue in the brain to give them Abilify. I don't know who came up with this idea or not. I'm not sure anything saves dementia because they get progressively worse and then die. So I'm not sure I believe that. If you've got a dementia patient, seroquel is usually the best one to use in my opinion. Like I've watched a lot of people. And it calms them down because they're in a lot of pain from moving. You'll see them grab their legs and stuff, and they'll just hurt. Yeah, so anyway, seroquel is usually good. It can cause them to have death, but it's not a big deal. Now, seroquel on paranoid schizophrenics is very bad because if you've ever taken seroquel, and I don't think a lot of you have, you know that it causes an intense feeling of paranoia right when you take it. And it makes you think people are after you, and it can also cause you to hear literal voices. For example, I heard a man that said, "Hi." Okay, that was really weird. Anyway, those are the main psych drugs that I've watched and seen people be put on. If you have a really fat schizophrenic, and usually try to go with something typical like perfenazine instead of the newer ones, because then they get diabetes and then they have even more problems. If you have a disorganized schizophrenic that doesn't have behavioral problems, then why are you drugging them? There is no point in that. They burn out, they stop having hallucinations, and they're stuck like that. Whatever I've talked about in my other video, there are several different causes, but they're trapped. There's no point. Oh, it makes their delusions go away. It makes them quiet. It makes them very quiet. But I don't think they're happy because I don't know, the people I was in the house with before used to throw their medicine everywhere and start screaming. So anyway, yeah, I'm not a doctor. I'm not recommending. I'm just saying what works on most of them. Now, the problem with anxiety meds is they cause memory loss and stuff. But if you let that progress, it becomes really bad. So it's usually good to try to stop it and then do therapy and then stuff like that. Those people seem to recover. Yeah, okay. So I think I've gone over this and my opinion on things. There's some oddball medications that are used, and I'm just like, it's making the people deteriorate. If you have a loved one who's been in the care of a doctor, a psychiatric, or on a psychiatric ward for a while, you know what I'm talking about. They deteriorate. Now, some of it is just a natural progression, and some of it is the medicine that they're on. And it's like, realistically, what causes what? And, yeah.